been live on my YouTube channel. What are you doing today? I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going live. So typically I have this by Zoom only for those who have purchased my workbook, Healthy by Design, but I decided to do something differently today. So I am going live. Nobody is even on this live right now, but I am going to go live because sometimes in life you have to do things differently. So for those who have seen this YouTube channel, thank you for subscribing, watching, or just perusing. My name is Jasmine, and I'm mentioning the Healthy by Design workbook because, again, I have a design session every month since the month of January this year, and we are actually at the end. Can you say end? The end of September 2025. So we will have 3 more months in the year of 2025. So what I'm going to do is share with you what Healthy by Design is in real time for me, to you, to see if this is something that could benefit you. For those who've already purchased the book, I do believe, I don't even know this much about it, I do believe I will be able to give you this live afterwards. But in the meantime, I wanted to come on because there is so much out in the world today, and living a life that's healthy by design, not default or not randomly. I am a living testament and a living witness and a living example that it's not easy. Even when I was thinking about going live, I was just like, there are certain decisions that I'm still making. So I was like, let's do it live because this is going to document and solidify the process for yourself, Jasmine. So if you don't know, Healthy by Design is a workbook that I came up with from a design standpoint, and I keep saying the word design. I'm going to use the actual piece of paper. My nephew and my niece, I just watched their play today. They're married, by the way, and actually this is the one. Let me see. This is the page for my nephew, and this is the page for my niece. There we go. I created some circles, and we just did a little working session together to say where we would want to be in the next year. And I just did that for the next year. By the time that I met with my niece, I realized, I was like, wait, that's the concept that would be very helpful in an idea that I have for a workbook. So I started putting some things together that's not here or there right now. So with the workbook, there are the circles. So we are going into quarter 4, Q4 now. So October, November, December. And then these are the circles now in the workbook that you can see. So it shows where am I currently. You can put the date. And then it also shows the next page, your desired results. So for the design session, typically I have people give their piece of time, or provide them time with stepping back and seeing what they want to do for themselves. And then why I wanted to go live here is because a lot of times we have as human beings tried to go about not just goals, the standards, the lifestyle, the things that we want. Many times we've done it in attempts to do it all ourselves. So what I realized, for me, there are so many things that I did not have the bandwidth, I didn't have the understanding, I didn't know how to do everything by myself. And I was just like, okay, what do I do? So when I'm thinking about the areas, and let me tell you what the areas are that may be able to help you. So the 6 areas of focus are your emotional, financial, physical, relational, spiritual, and vocational. Vocational simply means work, career, your purpose, or business. And the reason why I slowed down to say that, because I was just like, well, let me share with them or people in real time what I'm doing with the specific emotional and the physical financial and physical areas in my life, because that top tier, they all kind of run together for me. If you see on my page, I have talked about my fibroid journey, and I have gone to another level in this fibroid journey. I have connected with an organization where I've been looked at, and I say I've been looked at from a deeper level, like looking at my blood type, looking at what I've eaten. There have been just many other focuses that I have allowed someone to see. Hey y'all, hey, there are people. I don't know where you are. Hi, welcome in. I'm just sharing about the Healthy by Design journey. Great to have you here. Oh my goodness. See, you never know what happens when you go live. So a lot of times with this health journey for me personally, I have tried to do it by myself. So when I think about living my life that's healthy by design and not default, I've had to ask for help. So I have shared about my my journey with the Detox Now that actually showed me and gave me education about hormonal balance and things that I need to look at from a deeper level than just my eating as well as exercises, but things that I haven't even looked at. So I'm looking into that, and then I just came off a health reset through a Place of Change Ministries with Coach Lisa A. Smith, and then I have homework. So the reason why I'm sharing you this is because with my health and then my physical well-being, I am taking radical responsibility for my health. So she's given us some homework that I will be filling out in the next couple of hours. And then I came across another young lady's business. It's called The Raw Girl, and she is a certified nutrition specialist and behavior coach. And then she gave a bitters food list. You can check both of them out. And then I got overwhelmed. You know why? Because I was like, oh my goodness, I have more changes that I have to do. So what I wanted to on this live share with you, when you are looking and living to live healthy by design, it's going to be overwhelming. You're going to feel like there is too much to move forward. The one thing that I'm doing with my emotions too, the early part of this year, I went through a course. It was called Mother Wounds, Healing Your Mother Wounds. Some of us have father wounds as well, but sometimes we don't look at those things. If you look at the videos that I've had, I've been talking a lot about going back to go forward. That has been very helpful going through this emotional healthy journey for myself. Listening to the Scazzeros, they talk about sometimes you need to go back in order to go forward. And that going back is not to be victimized or have a victim mentality. Is to be aware enough to say, okay, what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be changed, or what are areas where I need to look at differently. So with that being said, going into the month of October, I am going to finish out. Her name is Cybele. I'll put all of these people in the description if I'm able to with this live. I am going to take her reparenting course that she has monthly for, I believe it's 6 months that I'm going to take that course. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is that with the Healthy by Design process, what you want to do, and you can check it out on page, let me get the page, page 42. There are things that I have focused on for us to think of. What are the 5 W's? So the 5 W's are who, what, when, where, and why. So when you're looking at building and creating and designing your life healthy by design, sometimes we forget to think about others that we need on the journey. So that's why I introduced what I was doing with Coach Lisa with her health reset through a Place of Change. That's a spiritual connection, but they're helping us with our health, and that also helps emotionally when I'm in a better head space and body space for myself. I mentioned the Mother Wound course, and then going into the month of October, I will be starting a reparenting course because my little girl self, my little girl Jazz, sometimes she's been neglected, and I put her in spaces that haven't been safe, or she's been in spaces that haven't been safe. But now that as I'm a grown woman, it's my responsibility to be able to make sure I'm placing myself in a best environment, in a best light, even when it's not always conducive. But I'm responsible for me, so you are as well. And sometimes we need help. So that's why I'm gonna connect with Cybele and just see those things that I can learn so that I can unlearn things and learn and relearn. And then finally, I talked about the Raw Girl. This is talking about the physical as well, because I am making sure I am eliminating processed sugars. As I'm going on the fibroid healing, this stint of the process and the healing journey for myself, I have learned this year that fibroids are fed by sugar. And I heard it this year differently, that's what I will say. So because of that, I want to do things that are better aligned with not eating processed and refined sugars. So the Raw Girl, she had a bitter foods list. Again, you can check her out on her page, and then she could they can provide you with more. And then finally, I'm not with the finances. I took a course. It was called The Reset, and it was called Reset and Prosper. Miss Zawadi. Still praying for her complete healing, but it was an amazing financial course that hit in an area of healing from some financial trauma. So coming up in this final quarter, I'm going to be looking at, I have looked at finances a lot in my life, but my transparent and realistic share is that a lot of times I had the information here, but it just seemed like there was a disconnect in my emotions and just a disconnect how I did things. While things are not as they were in the past, I realized there was some healing again that I needed to be healthy by design. So that Reset and Prosper, it was very helpful. And then now the way that I am wired, I know I need, like, automation is very helpful for me so that I don't have to think of everything in my head. But the transparent share, honestly, is that I'm gonna need someone to, I need for myself to look at things in a more attentive way. Attentive meaning like structure and systematic, and that's just not my preference. But I'm not gonna let my preference run me if it's not a healthy preference. So that's what I'm doing financially. And then spiritually, I went through this with two of the young ladies that actually helped and assist with Healthy by Design. It was the True Woman 8-week Bible study on biblical womanhood. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I have learned that there's ways that I've been living that are outside of God's design. And in order to live a life that's healthy by God's design, I'm going to have to make some adjustments. A Place of Change Ministries by Dr. Eric Thomas and Pastor Tyus, they've been talking about getting in order. That was the focus for the month of October. No, August. We're not in October yet. And what was beautiful about that is that there were things that I learned that I need to unlearn. And I'm still in the process of it. So you may be still in your process. The reason why I want to do this for us in social media, it would be easy for me to just stay in a private room and have this conversation, but I don't know who's out there. I had 4 people come in, and you may have come in on an accident, but it may also be by purpose that you're here to let you know that your life is possible to live in a healthy way that's by design and not by default. And there are so many areas in our lives, sometimes we have been conditioned, programmed, or socialized to think that that's just the way that things are. But I would like to share with you that you can create a life that's meaningful, that's purposeful, You may have to unlearn some things. You may have to connect with someone that makes you reach up and make you a little bit uncomfortable, and you may have to get quiet and still so that you can see what's coming up, so that you can settle the noise and then walk differently. So I like to share with you. Oh, I have one more thing that I'm doing with my book club. So Lisa Billview, that's all I could do. I don't have any editing, as you can see, but my book club, we're reading this Radical Confidence. I have to read the chapters before the end of this month, and that's it. Healthy by Design is a workbook that was designed to give people space to create a life that they want to live. No matter where your life is now, sometimes we just need the space and the time. A lot of times, I don't have a lot of people that may want to or have the time or the space, but let me tell you what I've learned and what I've lived. When I take the time to make the decisions that are best for my health, regardless of anybody else's opinion or their feedback, I have lived a different life than I would ever have lived before or prior to if I would have stayed doubting, too busy, too anxious, or too worried about what everyone else thinks. So there's a beautiful young Black woman on the cover of this book. The book isn't just for women. I am going to be looking at getting a neutral cover, just so that it can also be something if some of my male gents or my brothers out there want to have too. What I'd like to leave with you, whether you do it with me or with anyone else, what I would like to invite you in living a life that's healthy by design, that you would take the space and time for you sometime before this year ends, hopefully sooner than later, to just stop, see where you are currently, and then think about where you want to look, what you want to look like, or how you want to live, so that you can make adjustments where necessary. And then if you need others, if you need resources, if you need people that are there for you, space there for you, or determine what you need for you, you need space to be able to do that. And that's all I'm going to say today. This isn't supposed to be some professional type of live. This is my first live ever in my entire life on YouTube. So I pause for the cause. In order to live a life that's healthy by design, you are someone who has to make that decision. And then once you make the decision, if you need to ask for help, ask for assistance, ask for directions, raise your hand and be okay with doing that. If you like to pick up the Healthy by Design workbook, I will put that in the description as soon as I'm able to figure this all out. But in the meantime, you are worthy, you are enough, and you are loved. No one told you that today? I'm gonna let you know that. So I'm gonna figure out how to close this, and then I will see you another time.